सामगान विलोल साधु जन परिपालकामितार्थ विधात कीर्ति संजात सोम सूर्य प्रकाश सकल लोकाधीश श्री महाप्रभुवीर सिंधु गंभीर जय जय.
कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलं वाल्मीकेर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं कोनयादि परां गतिं वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना. Namaskaram. This is the course of critical analysis of Ramayana. India, rather the larger Indian subcontinent, is blessed with the Itihasas and the Purānās. Itihasas are simple, two in number. One is Srimad Ramayanam, second is Sri Mahābhāratam. Srimad Ramayanam has been compiled, composed and presented with such devotion to us by sage Valmiki. On the other hand, Sri Mahābhāratam has been beautifully compiled, composed and presented to us by Vyasacharya. What is so special about the Itihasas? Rather, the world calls them the epics. Something very unique about these Itihasas is that they have been given to us as it happened. The word Itihasa itself means as it happened, so it happened, it has been presented to us. So in this course of critical analysis of Ramayana, we will have the opportunity to go deep into the character sketches. We will be sketching the very important characters who make up this particular Itihasa, which is Srimad Ramayana. To begin with, let's start with Sri Rama, who is the protagonist, of course, of this beautiful work. We need to understand that the word Ramayana, when said, brings a lot of questions in our minds. I'm sure all of you would be avid readers of the various books on Ramayana. A lot of such questions come. Dasharatha, such a great king, he chose to have sons and not daughters. Why? If daughters and sons are to be treated equally, why did he choose to have sons and not daughters? If kings in the past were perfect, they were good administrators, very learned, very powerful, why couldn't they stick to the one wife policy? Any king that we discuss of the past has more than one wife. They have too many wives. Is that an exaggeration, or did that happen? If it had happened, why did kings not follow this one wife phenomenon or rule or practice? If Rama was to be made the Yuvaraja, the heir apparent, the next day, and then he is asked to go on an exile, he could have simply said, no, it is my right. Why did he have to listen to his father's words and go to the forest? Is that possible in these days, where my father says you'll have to go to the forest of Amazon? I have promised somebody else. Will I be listening to it? If Rama, contrary to his father, agreed, Dasharatha had many wives, Rama was very different. He was married to one lady called Sita. And if his love and affection for Sita was that high, was that true, will he ever ask her to undergo the test of fire, the Agni Pariksha? Later, after his coronation, Pattabhishekam, will he ever ask his pregnant wife to go to the forest? Will he abandon her in the middle of the forest? Wouldn't, as a doting father, Rama want to know that if his sons were born or daughters were born and keep track of where they are? Did he ever do that? If he was a powerful warrior, why will he ever stand behind the trees and shoot an arrow at Vali? If he was so powerful, he will stand right in front of Vali, fight him, Win or defeat, that's different. Why did he do that? See, the word Ramayana brings so many questions in us. Well, not every question in this world needs an answer. Not every question in this world has an answer. Not every question in this world do we need to know the answer. This on one side. As all of you know, the civilization, the culture, the tradition of the Indian subcontinent at large has always motivated and professed the art of questioning. If Arjuna weren't to ask questions and Krishna weren't to give answers, we wouldn't know what Bhagavad Gita is. If Janamejaya didn't ask questions and Vaishampayana didn't give answers, we wouldn't know what Mahābhārata is. If Valmiki didn't ask questions to Narada and Brahma, and if they hadn't given answers, we wouldn't know what Rāmāyana is. If sage Maitreya didn't ask questions and Parashara didn't give answers, we wouldn't have Vishnu Purana. If Parikshit had not asked questions and Vyasacharya's son Shukabrahma had not given answers, we wouldn't have Bhagavata Mahapurana. If Bhishmacharya hadn't asked those 6 questions and Krishna not given those answers, or rather when Yudhishthira asked those questions and Bhishmacharya did not answer, we wouldn't have Vishnu Sahasranamam today. So the art of question has always been encouraged. But we need to understand that we should develop the patience to know the answer, not at that point in time, over a period of time. So this critical analysis of Ramayana is aimed not to ridicule any character, not to pull down any character, not to elevate any particular character, but to present the character as is. So now that I have mentioned at the commencement that we are going to speak about Rama, when I had asked those questions, why did Rama kill Vali, why did Rama do Agni Pariksha, remember, if I were in Valmiki's place where I am trying to compile, record and compose in the form of poetry, in verses, Rama's entire biography or life history, I will very comfortably hide those incidents or those instances which are very uncomfortable. See, if I were in Valmiki's place, I would never say Rama asking Sita to undergo Agni Pariksha. I will just keep that incident where Shurpanaka comes and her nose and ears are chopped off. So that humiliation done to a woman, I would have quietly taken away those verses. As a reader, you wouldn't even know because you believe in what I report. What if I report wrongly? What if I quietly, secretly try to mask certain incidents which could cast blot on the character of Rama? I could have done that, right? But in case of Valmiki, Valmiki has been utterly honest, sincere and truthful. He has never hidden a single incident from us. He knows the protagonist of his beautiful large mammoth work called Ramayana is Rama. He knew that if he were to project certain incidents in detail, there will be questions in the minds of the listeners and the readers. But he didn't mind about it. That is honesty, that is truth. Because when he is presenting the biography, he wants to be as honest as possible. Rama would have wished that, and Valmiki did that too. Who was Rama? Rama was, of course, the loving son of Dasharatha, loving son of Kaushalya, the beloved brother of Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, the very loved husband of Sita, the very respected father to Lava and Kusha, the very master to Guha, to Shabari, to Hanuman, to Sugriva, to Vibhishana, a very strong enemy to Ravana. So he did wear many hats. But we are going to see from the standpoint of a normal person. Did he have pluses? Did he have minuses? Could he have handled that situation better? So this is the way we are going to check. Not that any of our suggestions is going to be taken, because it's not something that's going to happen from now. It has already happened. But we are doing a critical analysis. So let's begin with, was he that strong? Because kings in the past, the Kshatriya kings, they were all largely strong. There was no king who was meek and who refused to fight. Of course, we have a very comical incident in Mahābhārata where we have the prince of Matsya Desham in Virata Parva called Uttara Kumara, who said, I am going to fight the Kauravas. And he ridiculed Arjuna because Arjuna was in the disguise of a eunuch called Brihannala. So Brihannala, who's Arjuna, volunteers to be the charioteer to Uttara Kumara's chariot. And the moment Uttara Kumara sees the huge battalion, the army, the Akshauhini Sainyam in front of him with Bhishma, with Drona, with Kripa, with Karna, with Duryodhana, with Dushyasana, he's startled. He says, I'm going back to the kingdom, I can't fight them. So very, very rarely you come across such princes and kings. But largely Kshatriya kings were trained to be strong. So what makes Rama different? It makes him so much different that in Bhagavad Gita you'll remember, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Wherever there is the master of yogic sciences called Krishna, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, the one who is a master in archery, who is Arjuna. This is what Sanjaya tells Dhritarashtra at the end of Bhagavad Gita. So we have known that Arjuna was a Sabyasachi, ambidextrous in terms of archery, very talented, very strong, very focused. But at one point in time, Vyasacharya as well as Shukha Brahmam, they remark that Arjuna was not even an iota of Rama's valor in archery. So if Arjuna, whom we all know as the best of warriors, is an iota in front of Rama's archery, then you should imagine how powerful Rama would have been. So Rama's skills in archery does come into picture at various junctures. For example, the very first war he waged was against a demoness called Tataka. So he fights her and he kills her. Same is the case with her children, Subahu and Maricha. He kills Subahu and drives away Maricha. So these are all places where you see his skills in archery, and that at that point in time when he fought Tataka, when he fought Subahu, when he drove away Maricha, he was at the age of 12. So a 12-year-old boy, I'm sure students could be in class 6, 7 or 8, one of these years when you're 12 years of age. So that point in time Rama is fighting these demons. So those are instances that bring out the valor of Rama. But if I have to point out to one incident which is very dramatic, which shows what kind of a warrior he is, then I will have to take you to Aranya Kandam, which is the 3rd canto in Valmiki's Rāmāyana. Shurpanaka, who was the widowed sister, she was a widow, she was a sister to Ravana. So while she was humiliated, she goes and complains not to Ravana directly, but to her other brothers. Some of them were half brothers. They were all stationed in a close by place from where she was humiliated. It was called Janasthana. So she goes and complains to her brothers Khara, Dushana and Trishiras. So the moment she complains, she says, see what he has done, Rama has done. But then she starts praising Rama. The way she does is, she starts praising. She says, Tarunau Rupa Sampannau Sukumarau Mahabalau Pundarika Visalakshau Chirakrishna Jinambarau. How handsome. Such broad shoulders, such lotus-like eyes, such long arms. The way he held the bow was beautiful. He chopped off my nose and ears. Will you ever praise somebody like this? She did that. The moment they heard praises from Shurpanaka's mouth of Rama, Khara, Dushana and Trishiras, they all marched with an army of 14,000 people, 14,000 demons to Janasthana, from Janasthana. And Rama, he says, Lakshmana, take Sita atop the hill. There is a cave there. If you peep, you can see what's happening on the ground. Take her to your custody, take her to safety, go there. Lakshmana volunteers. He says there are many demons who are coming. How will you fight them alone? The rishis were worried. Ekascha Ramo dharmatma katham yuddham bhavishyati. Here is one person called Rama who follows every rule of warfare, and there are the demons coming in 14,000 number who do not know what rules are. They have never ever known what rules are. So they are coming on one side, and here is Rama. So they were worried. Ekascha Ramo dharmatma katham yuddham bhavishyati. But Rama said, I will handle it. And in a very short span of time, they say 1.5 muhurtas time, he was able to win over all the demons. So this is one instance. Of course, when I said all the demons, there is a star mark that you have to keep. He was able to vanquish 13,999 demons. One of them he spared, and he was later called Akampana. So this particular incident is very strong enough to describe Rama's valor. Of course, there are many instances, the way he fought Kumbhakarna, the way he fought Ravana, and so on. But did this valor, did this power come with lot of arrogance? No. When he was fighting Ravana, imagine his wife has been abducted. Rama did try so many times to tell the other person, Ravana, through a messenger like Hanuman, that you will have to send Sita back. But Ravana did not agree to it. And now Rama is seeing Ravana in front of him. If we were in his position, we would have fought fiercely with Ravana. But you know what happens? On one day, Ravana happens to lose every weapon. So he's bereft of his weapons. He's absolutely rendered without a single weapon, not even a knife, not a sword, nor a shield, nothing. This was the apt time for Rama to shoot an arrow at Ravana. There ends the story. But you know what he says? Ravana, you have been a warrior all along in your life. You have fought various large battles. And today, you are without weapons. And if I were to fight you in this position, it will be cowardice on my side. So I would suggest, Ravana, you go back to your palace. I won't do any harm to you today. You go back to your palace. Think for some time and then come back tomorrow. So this was actually a big insult to Ravana. Nobody has ever dared to say, Ravana, you're bereft of weapons, go home. But Rama did that. But see the amount of modesty and humility, Vinayam, that Rama shows. So we have seen Rama's archery. On the other side, we need to see Rama's humility. How does humility manifest? Vayovriddhaihi, jnanavriddhaihi, sheelavriddhaihi, tells Valmiki. So he did have the practice of listening to people, listening to their stories whenever he wanted. So this art of listening he developed. So when you listen to things, you are showing your humility there, because you are telling the other person, I am patiently listening to you. You have a lot of good points to say. I am listening patiently to you. So if you read up to Rama's internship period. So there is an internship period. He has learnt under Vasishtha. He goes with Vishwamitra. He kills all those demons there. And at that point in time, on his return, Vishwamitra, he tells him every possible legend. He tells about Samudra Manthanam, how the Samudra was churned. He does talk about Kumara Sambhavam, the birth of Skandha. He does talk about Ganga Avataranam, how Ganga, the divine river, flowed from Devaloka. He talks about the birth of Maruts. So there are so many legends that Rama listens to. All this is an exemplification of his humility that says that yes, he has the art of listening. So we have seen his archery skills, we have seen his humility. But were there instances where he could have done it better? See, as far as we read Ramayana largely, when Dasharatha said, you're going to become the heir apparent, he did not express a lot of happiness. He said, fine father, I'll become the heir apparent. The next day he was said, you'll have to go to the forest. Of course, he said, okay, I will go to the forest. But did he carry any amount of sorrow? See, to any normal human being, there will be some amount of sorrow attached. So Valmiki says, Dharayan manasa dukkham. There is one line in Ramayana where Valmiki hints that Rama could have got slightly hurt by this. Probably you might have never heard this in our lectures, because as we profess about a divine personality like Rama, we would not want to showcase any negative skill. Yes, but Valmiki is very honest, brutally honest. He says, Dharayan manasa dukkham. He had little sorrow in him. And of course, we have always known that he loved and respected his stepmother Kaikeyi, and he knew that it was on Kaikeyi's insistence that Dasharatha had asked him to go to the forest. But there is one place where Rama kind of admonishes Kaikeyi. Where is that? When the trio, Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, they all come to the forest, there is one instance, and that instance is when Viradha, the demon, kidnaps Sita. So when she is crying for help, she says, hey Rama, hey Lakshmana, please come and protect me. As she is crying out for help, she is giving an emergency call for help. Rama and Lakshmana run behind the demon Viradha, who is carrying away Sita. That time Rama tells Lakshmana, I think now my mother Kaikeyi will be happy. So it indicates that he had some amount of, he was hurt by Kaikeyi's decision. Again, this may not be projected in the lectures, because we would always want to showcase Rama as ever sacrificing. Yes, he was sacrificed a lot of things and abandoned a lot of things, but still, this is one instance where Valmiki honestly projects. Now coming to Vali's episode, let's go to another dimension of Rama. Vali's episode. Vali was the very strong brother to Sugriva. Sugriva and Vali were very respected brothers, loving brothers. At one point in time, Sugriva understands that Vali is dead, because Vali doesn't come out of the cave where he was fighting another demon. So assuming that the demon could have killed Vali, Sugriva assumes that if the demon who has killed Vali himself is going to come out, who is going to fight him? And they block the entry to that cave. And upon the insistence of the ministers and the party workers around him, he becomes the king. And this is known to Vali. Vali comes, gets to know about this, and he doubts Sugriva, and he says, Sugriva, you're banished out of the kingdom. So Sugriva comes out. Now Sugriva seeks asylum at Rama's feet and tells what all that has happened, and Rama says, you fight your brother, I will say how to protect you. So he stands in front of Vali. Remember this very clearly. Rama stands in front of Vali, but is hidden from his eyesight, because Vali and opposite Vali is Sugriva. Behind Sugriva, hidden amongst the leaves and the branches and the tree, is Rama. Rama was dark complexion, so it was very tough for somebody to recognize Rama. So Rama shoots an arrow at Vali's chest. That's very clear, because Vali takes that arrow and checks whose name is written on it, because they were all customized arrows. So he shoots an arrow on to Vali's chest. So naturally Rama couldn't have stood behind Vali, where the arrow goes straight, takes a U-turn and then hits Vali. So that's not possible. So he would have surely stood before Vali, but Vali would have not noticed Rama standing. So Vali poses 1,000 questions. He says, what you have done is wrong. Your wife Sita has been kidnapped, so it doesn't mean you kill any other person whom you see on your way. If your wife has been kidnapped, you should go fight Ravana. He tells a lot of such things. Rama listens to all this very patiently. He says, I'll keep listening. See, that is a very important trait. When somebody talks, you listen to that person completely. Then you say, now I've heard you completely. Can I say, or can I reply? Can I answer? Can I also speak? So that is when the other person will also take cognizance. Rama does that. He says, Vali, you throw all your accusations. Be very frank. Be honest. And then he says, Vali, You have banished your brother Sugriva despite him falling at your feet and telling, please, I am doing Sharanagati. It is not my mistake. I thought you were dead, my dear brother Vali. This kingdom is yours. I am yours. Take this all. When he said that, you refused to accept his apology. You kept demonizing him. 1. Second, you knew that your brother has been banished. You should have sent his wife also, but you secretly kept your brother's wife in your custody. Doesn't this show the evil intent that you have towards your sister-in-law? You knew that my wife Sita has been abducted by Ravana. She was crying for help while she was crossing your dynasty, your region. You could have stood. You could have said, I will protect you, but you didn't. You did not offer a single word of solace for her. You were just a spectator to Ravana's crime. As a king, you should have defended. Though she may not be a member of your kingdom, you have the right to defend her. You didn't do that. And today you pose 1,000 questions on me. If you had done things right, then you have the right to ask your question. I did not shoot from you behind. I was standing in front of you. When you do things secretly, nobody should question you. When I do, you question me. You may keep telling Vali that we animals don't have the question of fidelity or infidelity. It doesn't matter if I have a relationship with my brother's wife. This could be your position. But you have been performing Sandhya Vandhanam, which is a routine for a Brahmana, a human being. But you have been following all the rules of Manu Dharma Shastram. So how can you call yourself an animal? Whenever you do things that suit you, you say you're an animal. Whenever you do things that don't suit you, you say there is a Manu Dharma Shastram. This is not wrong, Vali. So as Rama starts giving him a justification, Vali agrees to it. Vali says, yes, I have done a mistake, Rama. I shouldn't have done that. Kindly forgive me. So this is where the chapter is closed. But again, there could be questions. Everything is right, sir. What Vali did was wrong. But Rama could have still stood in front of Vali and fought. Again, there is a justification that Vali's half power will come to Rama. All this is not applicable to Rama because Rama is like fire. Even if you take half of fire to light the other lamp, still the fire will remain a whole. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. So the whole remains a whole. Rama remains a whole. You can never take a 50%, 12.5%, 33% of him. He's complete. He's infinite. Rama could have stood in front of him. Could be our opinion. But that did not happen that way. So, though it may not be a blot on his character, it still remains a question. Now, let's come to another important characteristic feature, which is Sita. He had great love for Sita. Why will he walk so many miles, having a coalition with the monkeys and then taking them all, sending Hanuman as a messenger, getting the information bags, doing a prayopavesham. He vowed not to drink or eat for 3 days, taking permission from the Ocean King to construct a bridge, using the monkeys and the squirrels to get one constructed, going all the way there, fighting. Will he do that without love for her? He would have surely loved her as his wife. But in that case, why did he have to ask her to go undergo Agni Pariksha? Remember that when Rama ran behind the deer which Sita had sought, the deer happened to be a demon called Maricha in disguise. So this Maricha cried for help, and the moment she heard the voice of Rama, because he had changed his voice, he mimicked Rama's voice. She asks Lakshmana to leave the place, go protect the brother. But Lakshmana says, Mata, nothing will happen to Rama. He is very strong. As he keeps telling that I will not leave you because you will be left alone, Sita says, you have been waiting all this long to have a relationship with me. I thought you were serving me selflessly. You are a selfish person. So the moment Lakshmana hears this, he is absolutely shocked because he has been serving them so dutifully all these years. So he leaves that place and Rama gets to know about it. So even if he had loved Sita, to tell the world that even if it's my wife, my dearest wife, who commits a mistake of hurting a person such as Lakshmana, she has to bear the brunt. So she accused Lakshmana of character assassination. She assassinated his character. So when Sita was rescued, Rama says, okay, fine, you seem to be dressed very well in Lanka, you seem to have put on some weight, you seem to be very happy in Lanka, I don't think you should be coming with me, and even if you want to come with me, do the test of fire. So whatever accusation she threw at Lakshmana was thrown back at her. It is not exactly tit for tat. In those days of administration, even if you were the political leader's wife, son or daughter, whatever you are, if you have done a mistake in before the eyes of the people in front of law, you are to be punished. So Sita was given that. To some extent, the Agni Pariksha from this mode of or this viewpoint could be accepted, but why did, when things were settled, when Sita was pregnant and he was 41, she was 35, she was pregnant after a long time, happiness had returned, why did he have to send or banish Sita to the forest despite knowing that she was pregnant and after hearing to the words of some anonymous washerman? This is a question that keeps coming in our minds. Yes, Rama could have ideally avoided that, because Sita was such a venerated and respected personality, and Rama could have avoided that. But see, as human beings, you're prone to commit mistakes, and even if the Lord chooses to be a human, the trait of human will never leave the human's body. So some opine that Rama could have avoided this. Some scholars say no. In administration, if there is anonymity, even if there are accusations through anonymous people, you will have to take action on them. So Rama sent her to the forest. That may not be suited, because when there is anonymity, I can accuse anybody of anything. So Rama could have seriously avoided that, and that would have ensured that he lived a very happy life. Of course, with the separation of Sita at a later stage, not only Sita was depressed, Rama was equally depressed. He didn't marry just because he didn't have a Sita. He didn't go to a Gita. He didn't marry because he was a king. He could have chosen to marry another one. He didn't do that. So he had immense love for Sita, but he could have handled that situation much better. He was a very good administrator. It was Rama Rajya, very good rules and regulations, but he could have handled that better. So there are situations where, as readers and listeners, we as listeners and readers have the liberty to say Rama could have done this in a better way. Well, that on one side. Let's take up his magnanimity. See, here we have Rama who's made the king. He is to be made the heir apparent. He's told, you're not going to be made the heir apparent, you have to go to the forest. What Rama could have said, okay, I'll go to the forest. Till I come back, my dear father, it is you who is supposed to rule. Till I come back, father, even if you're dead, nobody else should rule. But you know what he said? I am very happy that you have chosen the apt person for the kingdom, who's Bharata. Even if I were chosen, but there will be no better choice than Bharata, give it to Bharata. So this magnanimity was very, very, very evident. If you go up to Mahābhārata, you find brothers fighting for one piece of land. Duryodhana says, I will not even give you a piece of land. And here there is a kingdom where Rama was to be made the king. He says, I will not become the king. Bharata was to be made the king. He says, no, if Rama hasn't accepted, I will not become the king. Lakshmana says, I have to serve Rama. How will I take in charge of this kingdom? Last comes Shatrughna, who says, when three of them have rejected the kingdom, am I a fool to accept that kingdom? So the richest, the wealthiest, the most popular of all kingdoms on this earth at that point in time, in Treta Yuga, which was Ikshvaku Kulam, which was a Surya Vamsha of Ayodhya, of Kosala Pradesham, was bereft of a king. So the magnanimity of just not Rama but amongst his brothers is very, very evident. And if we have to understand Rama's way of handling even in tough situations, we'll have to understand the Parashurama incident. See, Rama happens to go to Mithila. Remember, marriage of Rama to Sita was not Swayamvara. It was not as if 15 princes and kings were standing and she was holding a garland and to garland someone. No, that was not a Swayamvara. It was a proper competition where Janaka, Siradhvaja, that is Sita's father is called Siradhvaja Janaka. In his ancestors, there was a king called Devarata, and he was given the bow of Lord Shiva. Shiva had used that bow in the destruction of a yajna called Daksha Yajnam. So that bow had been passed on generation after generation, and it had reached the hands of Janaka Siradhvaja. So Janaka Siradhvaja was holding that particular bow, and there was a festival to worship that bow. And understanding from Vishalanagara that there was such a festival, Vishwamitra thought it will be apt for me to take all these two young men, Imau Kumarau Bhadram Te Devatulya Parakramau Gajasimhagati Virau Shadula Vrishabhopamau Padmapatra Visalakshau Khadgatunir Dhanuddarau Ashwina Vivarupena Samupasthita Yauvanau, tells Valmiki. So these two young bachelors were taken to Mithila, and Rama expressed his desire. Hey Janaka, hey Siradhvaja, I have heard that you have got the very celebrated bow of Lord Shiva. I would like to see it. Janaka was a lot perplexed. He thought, what will this little boy do by seeing the bow? Even the greatest of the kings have not been able to lift. So he asks them to bring it in a 8-wheeled casket. And Rama is told by Vishwamitra, Vatsarama Dhanuf Pashya iti Raghavam Abravit. So he goes, he pays his obeisances, pranamams to the bow and lifts it. Just like effortlessly, like a cakewalk, like a child's play. He just lifts it. Tries to string it, it breaks. But Janaka is not worried about that breaking. He said, I will get some gum or Fevicol and get that stuck. My daughter is going to get married because I had said that to whoever lifts this bow only, my daughter will be given in marriage. So he gave Sita in marriage to Rama. On their way back to Ayodhya, at the very, very outskirts of Ayodhya, they see Parashurama. Kalidasa gives a vivid description of how Parashurama arrived at that scene in Raghuvamsham. So as he arrives in that scene, Parashurama is a lot angry. He says, Rama, I was thinking all this while in this world there is only one Rama who is of the Bhrigu who is Bhargava Rama, who holds the Parashurama, who is the son of Jamadagni, Jamadagneya Rama. So I am that Rama. I am Jamadagneya Rama. I am Parashurama. I am Bhargava Rama. I thought nobody else in this world is called Rama. But I heard that you are also called Rama. But if you are to be called after my name, you should have the same valor as me. You have lifted a broken bow of Lord Shiva in Janaka's Sabha, and you are given in marriage to Sita, and you call yourself a great warrior. Here I hold the bow of Vishnu. You break this, you hold this first, and you prove your valor. Rama does that. He holds the bow and he says, now I am going to string it. I have fitted an arrow into it. Whom should I strike this at? Parashurama's head hangs in shame. He says, I have committed a grave mistake, Rama, by doubting your valor. I was with arrogance that nobody can even win over me. I thought Kshatriyas were meek, weak. You're so great. Do anything you want. Rama says, I will not do anything I want because I will not kill you. Parashurama, you are to be killed. Just because your father Jamadagni was killed by a king called Kartavirya, a Kshatriya king called Kartavirya and his sons, you did not just choose to avenge the death of your father by killing them or fighting them, but you killed every possible Kshatriya who came in your way. Is this what a warrior does? Just because you have the balam, the power, will you ever kill any person who comes across? You did that. I have the right to kill you for all the holocaust that you have done. Hey Parashurama, but I will not do that. You know why? Your father Jamadagni was a very, very rigorous student of the Vedās. You have also learnt the Vedās. You could have used the essence, the quintessence of what you have learnt of Vedās in a very productive fashion, but you didn't do that. So I will not kill you. I will forgive you and take away all the prowess that you have accrued of all your austerities and penances. So Rama, even in this situation where he could have easily killed Parashurama, does not do so because he has a justification for that. When he had to kill Tataka, the first woman, he asks Vishwamitra, this is my first war that I am ever waging and now you are asking me to kill a woman. A woman is to be respected, a woman is to be loved, a woman is a mother, a woman is a sister, a woman is a wife, a woman is a daughter, a woman could be a guru. She adorns so many positions and you are asking me to kill? Give me a justification. Then Vishwamitra gives a justification. Only when Rama is convinced, he fights Tataka. He is very, very humble, at the same time very firm, very strong. So all these acts of Rama showcase his beautiful skill in archery, his humility, his modesty, his magnanimity, his art of speaking. But was he as talented as Krishna in the art of speaking? Is there any instance? Yes, he did speak very well to people. Otherwise, why would friends gather all around? How could he make friends with Sugriva so easily, with Hanuman so easily, with Guha so easily, with Shabari so easily, with Jatayu so easily, with Sutikshna, Sharabhanga, Agastya, Valmiki, so many people so easily? But there is one instance. He wanted to ferry all the monkeys to Lanka because he had to wage a war against Ravana. So for that he was recommended to construct a bridge using stones and trees at a place where there was an oceanic ridge. Oceanic ridge is supposed to be the inflamed portion of a oceanic bed. So the depth required to be filled with stones and trees was very little. So for that he had to seek an eco clearance because he is going to do something on the ocean. So he had to get the clearance of the ocean king, Samudra Raja. So to obtain the permission of Samudra Raja, he does Prayopavesham. 3 days he fasts. At the completion of 3 days, which was the minimum time required for any official to return or answer, when he realizes that nothing has happened, he tells Chapamanaya Saumitre, hey Sumitra's son Lakshmana, get the quiver of arrows on my bow. I will teach this ocean king a lesson. Sagaram Soshayishyami, I shall dry up every drop of water of this ocean and teach him a lesson. He fits the arrow into his bow and is about to aim at the ocean king, where the ocean king raises a voice and says, Pahimam, Pahimam. Please forgive me, Rama. Why did you have to kill me? You are holding a bow and an arrow. Why are you ready to shoot at me? I was trying to gather some of the best jewels in this world, some best rare gems from my oceanic bed, and make them into beautiful necklaces so that I can present it to you when I see, and here you to shoot me. You know what Rama says? Did you ever think that I had fit this arrow in this bow to shoot at you? Will I ever do that, O Samudra Raja, O Ocean King? I had fitted this arrow into the bow to shoot at an enemy of yours who has been tormenting you for quite some time. I did not do this to harm you. See how quickly he changed. So this is the art of speaking. So you might have heard the other person, but you believe in changing that entire tone and tenor to not hurt the other person. So he developed the art of speaking. Tyagaraja, the saint poet, says, Sudha Madhurya Bhashana Sudha. How beautifully Rama spoke. His treatment of his his father was very commendable. The love that he showcased to his brothers was even more commendable. Of course, with 1 or 2 instances of Vali's death or handling of Sita in her pregnancy stage, as a reader, as a person who critiques the work, we may feel Rama could have handled it better. Nevertheless, we can conclude that Rama, of course, passes the test to be the hero, the protagonist of this beautiful work of Ramayana. You must have just heard this beautiful rendition of the verse Kaushalya Suprajarama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narashardula Kartavyam Daivamanhikam. This is a beautiful verse from Valmiki's Ramayanam, and of course this was immortalized by the very famous artist, Carnatic musician of the south of India, called as Bharat Ratna Srimati M.S. Subbalakshmi. So this forms an integral part of the Suprabhatam, which is being sung atop the hills of Tirumala as well. But this verse, Kaushalya Suprajarama, is originally from Valmiki Ramayana. Now we are going to discuss the presence of 3 mothers of Rama. Of course, they were mothers to the other brothers as well. One is Kaushalya, second is Kaikeyi, third is Sumitra. Kaushalya is, of course, the first legally wedded wife of Dasharatha. And while Rama was escorted to the forest by Vishwamitra, Vishwamitra looks at a very, very beautifully sleeping Rama and he has to wake him up. He could have said, Rama, wake up. He could have said, my dear student Rama, wake up. You know what he says? The very, very loved son of Kaushalya, hey Rama, wake up. So he addresses Rama as the son of Kaushalya, not even as the son of Dasharatha. Why? Mata putrasya bhuyamsi karmanyava rabhate. More than the father, it is the mother who has the absolute right on the child. So he says, wake up, my dear, dear son Rama, who is the son of Kaushalya. So Kaushalya is very important. But what was Kaushalya's position in Ramayana? It was very minimal. In Ayodhya Kandam, when Rama goes and informs Kaushalya, Mata, I have to go to the forest, my father has ordained me to go to the forest. She starts crying. She says, though I am the legally wedded wife of Dasharatha, all these years he has showered his love only on Kaikeyi, not on me. I was not even given the due importance that needs to be given to a human being. Forget being the queen. I thought, Rama, when you would become the king, I will at least enjoy some comforts and I will garner some respect. Now that you're going to go to the forest, I don't know what is going to happen. I shall also come with you. That is when Rama tells, no, you cannot leave the father and come, you stay with him. Of course, Kaushalya was very upset with Rama's exile. But she says, now that you've decided to go to the forest, I shall bless you. That like how Vinata, the mother to Garuda, blessed him while he was on a pursuit to get the Rasayanam, Amrita Rasayanam from Amaravati Devaloka, I will bless you with the same verses. So she was easily convincible. She did not hold grudge. At one point in time, Bharata comes and falls at the feet of Kaushalya and says, Mata, I was unaware of father's demise. I was unaware of Rama going to the forest. All this has happened in my absence. Please trust me, Mata. She tells, don't act as if you do not know what your mother has done. But later when Bharata convinces her, she is convinced. So she is easily convincible. So Kaushalya, though being Rama's mother, was not treated that well, but even till date, being Rama's mother, by us who are avid readers, listeners, people who appreciate this work, we respect her immensely. Now let's go to another important character, Kaikeyi. If it had not been Kaikeyi, there will be no exile. If there was no exile, there will be no annihilation of demons. If there is no annihilation of demons, there is no kidnapping of Sita. Without any of this, why will Ramayana exist? Rama and Sita met up with each other, they married and they lived happily ever after. Why will you write 24,000 verses on this? So Kaikeyi was actually the instrumental cause. Though Manthara had brainwashed her, it was Kaikeyi who stood and said Rama should go to forest. But who is Kaikeyi? Kaikeyi is of course the stepmother to Rama, but in the initial sargas of Ramayana, we come across her as a very, very, very loving mother to Rama. But did that last long? Or was it her original character? No. Bharata, while he is in his uncle's house in Kekeya Desha, he says, Atmakama Sadachandi Krodhana Pragyamanini. Shatrughna, I am not worried about my father's presence, my brother Rama's presence, my brother Lakshmana's presence, any of the wives of theirs presence, but it is my mother whom I am worried about. She can do anything possible. Atmakama, Sadachandi, Krodhana, Pragyamanini, short-tempered, self-centered, prestige-conscious, selfish woman is my mother. Bharata did not know what all had happened, but he gives a certificate to his mother. Because Kaikeyi was very childlike and childish in her actions. She was not mature enough. She loved Rama immensely, no doubt. Rama too has expressed that to many people, that my mother Kaikeyi loves me immensely. But what had happened at that instant? She immediately said that Rama has to go to the forest. 1.5 hours was enough for a mother to get brainwashed against her own son. Imagine the depth of her love. She could have loved Rama, but it would have not been a mature love. Mature love is something where even if the person has done certain act, that doesn't mask or that doesn't hinder your love or affection for him. So Kaikeyi comes across as a very, very self-centered woman. Here is where we need to analyze. A lot of you who are hearing this may have heard this version that Kaikeyi brought an astrologer home who sees the Kundli, who sees the Jatakam. It seems she had showcased Rama's Kundli to the astrologer, and the astrologer predicted that Rama will be killing a learned scholar, a Brahmana later, which indicates Ravana. So by killing such a scholar, he will accrue the sin, the papam, the sin of Brahma Hatya. Brahma Hatya is a particular sin which a person accrues by killing a Vedic scholar. So your son will accrue that, and the only way to seek atonement for that sin is to do a 14-year prayaschittam. Prayaschittam is atonement. How many years? 14 years. Where? In the forest. So your son will be killing a Brahmana, he will accrue the Brahmahatya sin. So if you send him to the forest for 14 years, he can evade that. This is the version which a lot of you may have heard. If you have not heard, hear it now. But this seems so illogical. Why? Because Kaikeyi heard that her son Rama will be killing a Brahmana. So the only prayaschittam is to do 14 years of exile. Why will she send in advance? For example, I go tell the judge in a court, sir, please sentence me to 7 years of prison. The judge will be surprised. There is no case against you. There is nothing that has moved against you. Why should I send you to 7 years of jail? No, because 7 years later, I am planning to kill the neighbor, my neighbor. So after killing him, I won't have that much of time to go. Now the next 7 years I'm free. You send me for 7 years now. After that I will kill. All this exchange program of having the punishment before and then doing the act of crime is illogical. So all this doesn't find any place in Valmiki's Ramayana. If we were to compose our own Ramayana, then it is fine, we can do all of this. So Kaikeyi did not send Rama out of the love that she had for him, telling that I want to see you bereft of Brahmahatya. All this is not there in Ramayana. She comes as a self-centered, selfish woman. Let her be that way. It's the Indian mentality to never ever attribute anything wrong to a woman. So even if she has, in case of Ahalya, she knowingly had a relationship with Indra, but still we would start defending she is one amongst the Panchamahakanya. How can you say that it is Indra's mistake? Yes, it is Indra's mistake. It is her mistake too. She knew that it was Indra who had come in the disguise of her husband Gautama. She still continued having relationship, tells Valmiki. So same is the case with Kaikeyi. Yes, she had excess love for Rama, but that love was not mature. Not mature love or immature love. Simple exemplification is she was brainwashed in a very little period of time and she sent Rama to the forest. So if we have to describe Kaikeyi, Kaikeyi comes as a selfish woman. So there is no harm in absolutely accepting her the way she is. We don't have to create or defend for her illogical actions. Now let's go to another very important character, one of the mothers, called Sumitra. There has always been a debate amongst the scholars who research Ramayana as to whether Sumitra is the middle one or Kaikeyi is the middle one, because is it Kaushalya, Kaikeyi Sumitra, or Kaushalya, Sumitra Kaikeyi? Who comes in the middle? Because there are instances where Sumitra is referred to as Madhyamamba. Madhyamamba means Amba, mother, Madhya, middle. Madhyamamba is the middle mother. There are instances where Kaikeyi is referred to as Madhyamamba. So probably you will know mathematically, if you stand in a circle, then you won't know which is the center of the circumference, because if you take this as the start point, A, B, C, D, again A. So D comes between A and C. A comes between D and B. So you wouldn't know exactly. So likewise Madhyamamba concept comes here. But how is Sumitra as such? When the payasam was distributed at the commencement, Yajna Purusha comes with a herbal concoction, payasam, And knowing that Sanat Kumaras had said that Dasharatha will have 4 sons, he brings 4 cups. But dividing that by 4 is going to be tough. So he keeps 50% of the payasam to Kaushalya, 25% to Sumitra. In the remaining 25%, he gives 12.5% to Kaikeyi, and there is a small portion of 12.5% left. So if the king now thinks, if I give this to Kaushalya, then her share will become 62.5. Kaikeyi will protest. If I give it to Kaikeyi, then there are chances Sumitra could protest, because Kaikeyi had already received 12.5. There is another 12.5. She will get 25. Sumitra will have 25. So there is no demarcation in distribution. So what he does is he thinks quietly what should be done. He waits. Kaushalya had remained 50% of the payasam she has consumed. Kaikeyi received the payasam after Sumitra had received 25%. So she received her 12.5 after Sumitra's 25%. So Kaikeyi consumes that 12.5%. What was Sumitra doing? She had already received 25% of the payasam. She had not consumed it. She was waiting for Kaushalya and Kaikeyi to consume, because she had thought, now that we are going to have children, I will want my children who will be born, son or sons or daughter or daughters to be born, to be younger to Kaushalya and Kaikeyi. I want them to be younger to them. So only if they are younger will they be able to serve. So she waited. So Dasharatha knew that very thought that was lingering in her mind. He thought, such magnanimity this lady Sumitra is exhibiting of not consuming her 25% share. She is waiting for the other 2 queens to consume. So I will give the remaining 12.5% again to Sumitra. Anuchintya Sumitrayai punareva mahamatihi. So she is being positioned by Valmiki as a very sacrificing, as a very mature mother. Where else does she come? While Rama has been asked to go on an exile to the forest, he goes and informs this to his mother, Kaushalya. Lakshmana eavesdrops. He listens to what Rama has been telling. He goes to Rama. While Rama has already informed Sita, he falls at the feet of Rama and Sita and says, Sabhratus charana ugadham nipidya raghunandanaha Sitam uvacha atishayam raghavam cha Mahābhāratam aham sarvam karishyami jagrataha swapataschate. Both of you, my dear brother and sister-in-law, I have heard that both of you are going to the forest. I shall also accompany you. I shall serve you throughout. I shall do any work and every possible work that you ordain me to do. The moment he says this, Rama initially rejects but then accepts. Now Lakshmana goes and informs this to his mother Sumitra. He says, Mata, I had promised my brother that I will go to the forest. Can I go, Mata? You know what Sumitra says? You have committed a grave mistake, Lakshmana, by asking this question now. You should have left the city by now along with your brother. You shouldn't have asked me. But now that you have respected your mother Sumitra and you have come all the way, my dear son, I will advise you. I will bless you. You know what I'm going to bless you with? I'm going to tell you. Wherever you go in the forest, somebody asks you, who is your mother? Don't say, I am your mother. Say, Sita is your mother. Somebody asks you, who is your father? Don't say, Dasharatha is your father. Say, Rama is your father. If somebody asks you, which is Ayodhya, don't say Ayodhya is in Uttar Pradesh. Wherever your brother and your sister-in-law are, that place is Ayodhya to you. Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam Ayodhya Matavim Vidhi Gachatata Yatha Sukham. My dear son, go happily with them. The regional versions of Ramayana, which were carved later, there are even powerful dialogues where she says, now that you're going to forest, there will be forest fires. In case of forest fires, and in case Rama were to die in that forest fire, you should fall in front of him and you should die before him. See, all this may be foolishness to us, yes. Why will a mother tell the son, you die first? But such was her magnanimity. It's tough for us to understand and digest because we don't see such people around. I am not one such person. I'm sure people who are listening to this will also agree with me. We don't have this magnanimity where we tell our own children, you die in front of, before the child of somebody else dies. We will say, let that child also live happily, so will my child. I will not want to sacrifice my. So this ever sacrificing attitude of Sumitra is highly appreciated by scholars. So even if we have dealt with Rama and some things that he could have done it right, same is the case with Kaikeyi, same is the melancholy that Kaushalya keeps singing, but here we have Sumitra who led a very, very philosophical life. So it is only after Ramayana times, after Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga, where Krishna tells, do your duty. Karmanyevadhikaraste, he tells in Bhagavad Gita. Labha labhau jaya jayo, whether it is a gain or a loss, treat it equally. Whether it is happiness or sorrow, treat it equally. Sukha dukkha parantapa. So he keeps telling, don't show too many expressions to anything. I am super happy, I am sad. No, treat that same. But we don't see one perfect example who has done that. So Krishna does that later, he does the theory, but the practicals is in Ramayana. Sumitra is a perfect example of how to treat such opposing emotions, opposing incidents equally. So she comes as a very, very, very mature person. So if we look at the three mothers, they are to be venerated by us because all three of them have been served by Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna. All three of them have been respected by Valmiki. Had it not been the case, he would have not written so many lines and verses and characters on them. Yes, Kaikeyi should have not asked that. Sumitra could have been slightly lesser selfless. So these are all things that come to our mind. But we need to understand from our standpoint, however they are, we need to respect them. Mata putrasya bhuyamsi. Astam tavadiyam prasuti samaye durvara shulavyata nairuchyam tanusoshanam malamayi shayyaja sambatsari, tells Adi Shankara and Matrika Panchakam. So as mothers, let's pay our obeisances, our pranamams, our namaskarams to all the three mothers.